In this video today, we're going to be talking about the 5 habits that are ruining your aim in Warzone. The first habit that you're doing that is ruining your aim is taking gunfights at the wrong ranges. Let me explain. You have 2 guns. You have an AR, you have an SMG. We all know this. But unless you're sniping, there's that third option. But let's talk about AR and SMG. If I have an AR right now, and I'm looking up here, I can definitely see up there and shoot up there. But that is 117 meters. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence in your aim. And we players today have a habit of taking gunfights up there when we really shouldn't. And an AR should be taking gunfights at around 60 meters max, because that's going to give us the best advantage to win that gunfight. So when you're shooting, you want to go ahead and do that. So we're looking at like right around, what is that, 64, like right around here. Now this is an open field, makes it a little bit easier, but you want to make it about 50 to 60 meters. You're taking your gunfights at ranges that are just too long. And we got to make sure we're doing them in shorter, because 2 things will happen. Your character model will be easier to see in your enemy, and 2, it's just easier to shoot when you can see something bigger on your screen. So there'll be a better chance of you winning that gunfight and not missing shots. Now, if we're talking about SMG, let's switch to that, right? So let's look over here. That tree over there is 29 meters. Now, this is a little bit different of an example because it is an open field, but keep in mind, if we're not in open field, we'll just go do it over here. Make it a little bit easier, get off the roof. Okay, so we got our guy, if he's hiding right here, right? This is 14 meters. You really want to take a gunfight with an SMG, about, I would say, max 20 meters. So what is that, 19? We'll go a little bit back. There we go, 20. That's the furthest you want to shoot this gun. If you are taking gunfights outside of that range, you are going to lose. You should be switching to your AR to take those gunfights. SMG 0 to 20 just makes it so much easier. Now, sniper is different. Sniper support builds are different. I don't want to be anybody in the comments, but all I want to say is that is 0 to 20 is your SMG. Your AR 60 meters max. Otherwise, you're going to miss shots, your aim will be off, and it's just a habit we need to break. The second bad habit that we all have, and I've been working on it for years, and you need to start, and I talk about it all the time, and I preach it, is the centering or crosshair placement. And then I actually call it predictability. So let's take this house, for example. That window right there, we know people can be there, we know people can be there, we know people can be at that door. Where, most likely, if you had to talk back to me right now on the screen, where do you think they're going to be? Probably in the window. You guessed it. So put your crosshairs where you think the enemy is going to be. And if you don't know where the enemy is going to be, think about where would you be? Because that's where they're probably going to be. Same thing. You're playing the same builds as you, same buildings, same houses. So you put your crosshairs, and if you're running, I know you're probably thinking, well, Matt, how do I run? Look, I'm keeping my crosshairs right there. Just in case they pop in, I can go just like that. Because look, if I'm running normally at this and then they pop up, that second right there is going to get me killed, possibly, most likely 90% of the time. So you want to go ahead and run, keep your crosshairs where you think they're going to be, especially when you're close to buildings like this. Like right there, I'm keeping it on there the whole time I'm rotating, keeping my crosshairs, because then I can just pull the trigger. Especially, definitely when any of these windows, right? So now I'm closer, like we just talked about in Habit 1, but I'm keeping my crosshairs in that window. I'm going to keep them in that window. This door frame, like this window up here, this door, like just making sure I'm putting my crosshairs where I'm predicting they're going to be. And if I can do that and fix that bad habit, my aim, my shots, and everything would be on. It would be so much better, and you'll win more gunfights. The third bad habit that you do and I do all the time is we have too much gun variety, and we don't take the time to master our guns. And I can prove this to you. Go ahead, open your screen like me. How many different loadouts do you have made? I'll wait. I'm pretty sure. I'm waiting. I'm pretty sure you have more than 2. Because you should have a rebirth loadout and you should have a Verdansk loadout. So that would tell me right there. And then how many guns do you have? Like, look at mine. Kilos in this one, AMAX in that one, XM4 in that one, another Kilo, Car 98, PPSH, Jackal, HDR, Kilo. So what does that tell me? That tells me I have too much variety and I'm not mastering guns. Now, I've been playing this 5 years, so I do have, for Black Ops 6 and everything going forward, I've definitely mastered a couple of these guns. But for you, you need to make sure you're mastering a gun and not having so much variety, because if you have too much variety, then you're not going to understand the recoil pattern. You're not going to understand the reload speed. You're not going to understand the mobility and the agility of the gun. So when you make too many loadouts, you can't get great at one thing. You might get good at 5 things, but you won't be great at anything. The point of, for a habit you need to break, don't make so many loadouts. Make 4 tops. You got for dance for AR sniper, you have your resurgence for AR sniper, and then rank play. So we'll give you 5. But the guns that are in them, use the same guns and stay consistent. Now I know you're saying, oh Matt, the meta changes, Puff, and it changes. If you look at this year, in the last, the game's almost been out a year, the meta's not really changed a ton. It's changed a little bit, I'll give you that, but it gives you time to readjust. If you look at it, it's kind of funny. Black Ops 6 introduced the kilo a year ago. It was meta. It just came back with Season 5 to wrap up the year as meta again. So what does that tell you? Get great at one gun. Master that gun. Only switch off if you are looking to... Only switch off if their meta shifts, and it's a hard shift, because I'll give you a little insight too. When the meta shifts, yes, that gun might kill at 100 milliseconds more, but if you can't shoot it and it's harder to control recoil and you've mastered the other gun, consistency with your shots will win you gunfights more than doing the meta gun. I've beat people with non-meta guns because I landed more shots, because I understand the gun more and I've mastered it. So check your loadouts, understand mastering a gun versus being just good at it. And that is a habit we got to stop. That is habit number 3. Let's get into number 4. Bad habit number 4, and it ties into number 3 as well, is how you're making your loadout. So let's go in here and take a look. So we're going to take a look at the kilo here, and we're going to look at this loadout. Now, it depends on where you're playing. And I will say this, you have Resurgence and you have Big Map. We're going to be getting new maps all the time, hopefully in the next 6 months, but it's not going to change. So what I say is, a habit you need to break that's ruining your aim is how you're building the actual loadout. So trying to master the gun and you try to break that bad habit for number 3. Number 4 is making the correct loadout. So let's take a look. The barrel is where I see the biggest mistake, and I'll explain it. Because there's a couple different things here. We have, 5 different barrels. We have gain twist, long barrel, reinforced, CHF, and short. CHF and short, nobody uses, so don't even touch. So here's where it is. Gain twist barrel, and I'll move my camera because I think it's blocking it for you guys, is right here. Gain twist barrel helps with bullet velocity. It's going to give this gun 1,357 bullet velocity. And if you don't know what bullet velocity is and you're new to the channel, let me tell you, bullet velocity is super easy. What you need to do for bullet velocity is when I pull the trigger and the bullet hits the gun. So that's all bullet velocity does. And hey, if you are new to the channel and you haven't hit subscribe yet, go ahead, hit subscribe, because I come out with videos all the time and I appreciate it. Second thing here is the damage at effective ranges and damage beyond ranges. So that's a big piece too. So when I use the gain twist barrel, I don't get the range, right? I lose that, but I get the bullet velocity. So you want to do bullet velocity is important up to about 1250, 1300 bullet velocity, especially on a bigger map. You want your bullets to hit as best as possible so you don't have to lead your enemy across. Now the thing on this, if you have your long barrel, you can see now my ranges go up to 65 and 87 damage at effective range and damage at range and damage beyond range. Now here's the thing, you're gonna lose the bullet velocity, but you can make up that bullet velocity somewhere else. So if I have the long barrel and I go over to fire mod, I go to over pressured, and then I just got back the bullet velocity. So keep that in mind as well. You want to look at this because the effective ranges are important. And then you have your reinforced barrel. It's kind of best of both worlds, right? You're going to get the effective range and the bullet velocity. But like I said, reinforced barrels should be great for all Resurgence maps. If they bring back Area 99, Vondale, Ashika Island, the new one they're going to build off the Zombies map here when they announce it here in a couple days, like that's the barrel to use. The bad habit is we're just making our loadouts wrong and we're not mastering a weapon. So mastering weapon is 3, making the loadouts wrong is 4. Make sure that you're putting in the right barrel. Now it's simple, A and B. like a fork in the road. Big map, gain twist, reinforce is for a resurgence. And that will help your aim, and it's a bad habit we can get rid of. It's really simple and easy. The only caveat, and I'll give you a caveat, because I know there's going to be somebody in the comments, guys, is long barrel. Long barrel, yes, you want the most range you can get, and if you're going to pick up the bullet velocity in your fire mod category, and you can run an 8 attachment build, perfect. But most people are not. So gain twist, reinforce, the only things you should be using. Habit number 5 we need to break is where we're aiming, because we are not aiming in the right areas. We are aiming at the chest, which ends up being the leg, because people are running and they're sliding, and so you're actually not hitting anybody in the chest. You're hitting them in the leg or the stomach, and that's not going to be good. So like this guy, like I wanted to go ahead and aim right at that chest, right? Because I got him chest and head, and that killed him and took him off the map. So, but if I would have aimed at leg, he would have deleted me easily. And we don't want that. We don't want to be deleted easily. We want to make sure that we're aiming in those areas, so then we can go ahead and get the kill. Okay, another gunfight example. So we're going to go over here. We hear them fighting. He's running over. We want to aim for the chest and the head. See? Chest and head. Gets him every time. As long as we can do that, we'll be good. If we can't do that, I would have lost that gunfight. Chest and head. Chest and head. So much easier. We want to make sure that's our target. I would have lost the first 2 gunfights if I did not aim for the chest and the head. See how my aim was higher? I'm placing my crosshairs higher on that chest because they'll move, as you saw with that last guy. And if they move like that, then you're kind of stuck. You're not going to hit chest and head. There is more points or more damage done to the chest and the head than anything else. Look at this guy. Chest, head. Not lower. Not down at the legs. I will die if I do the legs. So we want to make sure we got to get out of that bad habit. We want to make sure we're killing at the chest and the head. I promise you, if you can get rid of all these 5 habits, your aim will increase and you will get more kills and more wins inside of Warzone. And hey guys, if you want to learn more from me, check out these 2 videos right here. They will help you get better at Warzone. And as always, if you have time, hit that new hype button. It really pushes the video out for me. Hit subscribe, turn notifications on, because I'm making videos for you guys every week, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks.